Stop. Okay. So we're just kicking off this beautiful reading with lot of a lot of energy. It's so funny because by the time this will probably be shared on the channel, we will have just dropped the bonus feature production that Dennis and I filmed over this weekend. It's currently Memorial Day in the United States of America, so what a memorial this time period really will be when I look back over my life and when I look back at like what is about to come into me this week. I just wanted to, it's so funny because the same circumstances that I was in when I filmed the I'm back message that was just recently posted before the coronation is exactly the circumstance that I'm in right now. And ironically, Spirit was just like, get to it. So very grateful, very blessed. There's so much that I think will probably come out with this channel message, but primarily, I don't even want to take this time to really go over, like I said, everything that I already know has happened in my life, because I feel like that will be coming to the forefront. But I will say that I think they're home. I think Dennis is home. Let's see. Let me know. Okay, great. So anyways, let's just start. Three of Cups. This is the sharing and emotional celebration. This is you, me, and Spirit type of emotional renewal. King of Pentacles is the first card out. Absolutely. I just, at this time, this level of expansion, this level of royalty, this level of moving forward, this level of all at once, this level of more than enough space to encompass what it is you're trying to do. And it is so crazy because that's exactly how I feel. I feel like the energy as I'm going into this could be this kind of feeling of like reattuning my vibration, because I'm not quite caught up to just how real this is now, because again, a lot of this was done on different etheric planes. So you've been here, there's a comfort with this King of Pentacles energy, but in terms of the third dimension, it's the ladder of the rung. And so this kind of energy of the Five of Pentacles, which to me is the unnerving instability of a change in your financial situation. Again, the story for me goes with the Five of Pentacles that, this is that abundance that you stumble upon that changes your situation. So the Five of Pentacles, a lot of people can give the connotation that like, there's instability, you're maybe in some terms locked out of your abundance, but that's actually not the state, because remember, we talk about each minor arcana card is the gift of Spirit. So when you're at the Four of Pentacles and you get the Five of Pentacles, it's when you've been on this sojourn, knocked out of your own independence, and this experience is when you finally are walking at the end of the blizzard, in hours of walking, you come across a warm church that's like, all are welcome, if you need food and shelter, please come in. And it's that insecurity that can both coincide with the existence of a very changed situation and dynamic, especially when the change becomes this. It's the type of thing where it's like the place that you went into, the place that takes you in at this time, in a lot of ways, like again, this is an institution, this is an establishment that sees that by taking you from what looks like the conditions of like long sojourn, long journeying outside of, they see you, like the second they let you in, they know you're a prince. Again, this is also the kind of energy of what me and Dennis always like to talk about, Boom for Real, which, in terms of Downtown 81, like, is this whole premise that, what is value? And so, maybe a good theme of this message is, not being valuable for what you have, but being valuable for who you are. And the only time that you get a Five of Pentacles opportunity, which is you feel locked out, and then something, some institution, some stability comes and affords you, it's almost like charitable, it's almost like impersonal in that way. It would be anyone that they would offer this to if they were in your condition. I feel like that's the state. It's like, there's a humanity here with what's being offered, but there's also like, again, this energy of taking a chance on you, taking a chance, and not like a chance on you from a power dynamic. This is like, again, this institution, this place would do this anyway. They would do this regardless, and to be able to, so for you it's almost like more just about an alignment, right? Like you happen to be in the position of like what they can help. Like if you're hungry and this church passes out food, you get what I'm saying, then you would be a viable candidate to whatever they're offering impersonally. However, in your circumstance, it's the type of thing where like feeding you in this way, taking you in this way, actually you've done the work to set it up to where like all it would take is a Five of Pentacles experience to put me right in the King of Pentacles. Meaning all you have to do is the same. Like I'm not asking you to, this is, I mean, these are channeled messages, but I'm hearing terms like I'm not asking you to do me any favors. This is also kind of a big download about some of the things that I see coming in from me and my husband personally, where it's like, we don't actually need any favors. You know, it's not even like low, like in terms of, say, like if we're looking for like partnerships in terms of like a working capacity, right? It's like the energy of, you know, there's nothing to rush, there's nothing to push. We're so sure that like we have the qualifications for what you need, you know, because this church, for every church, let's say, right, there's always a need to focus on the congregation, because without the congregation, essentially the bills of the church don't get paid. So at the end of the day, there is always a branch of every like religious like house of God that has an emphasis on welcoming. Like we welcome or need, we are always trying to grow, like attrition, like growing, you know what I'm saying? We are always on the lookout for new ways to, because we need the people, right? So this is an institution that is aware that it is people powered. That in terms of you, there is, again, there's a mutual alignment and attraction from both needs being met from both of these parties. This isn't Six of Pentacles where it feels like, you know, it really relies on the charitable act, the rebalancing, you know what I mean? The way that we have, the Six of Pentacles really talks about the circulation of money, the holistic circulation, the duality of that experience. And so the Five of Pentacles is not even so much about the charity, but it is like, we do this, like we exist to serve this purpose. Like the church, like if the church is turning away people who are in the cold and need something, well, the church would be this institution to believe that like we have God here, and with God we're so abundant. So the idea is this is exactly who this house that they're outside of is looking for, would be looking for. And so that has to go in with this opportunity, these multiple opportunities where it's like, you know, think about this dualistically. Think about, well, the reason you're receiving this externally too is because you embody this internally. So it's also like, you know, I get that, like I said, this from a grounded third dimensional perspective, whether you're representative of maybe the church or you're the people, like this isn't, again, it's not sticky, but this is like intensity. This is like, you know, this is like after battle. This is like after the hardships, like, right? So it's not exactly even like there's an exhaustion that could be in that energy. There is, you know, like I said, extenuating circumstances that kind of create this dynamic or this capacity to where, you know, and Spirit's really like leading me to say, like, don't lean into the state of like how much it's been for you on either regard. Because if I could say with any other sense of surety, like this is exactly the opportunity, this is exactly the moment where you have embodied that, like you offer your service, your house of God. There are people that when they meet you, you're exactly who they're looking for. Like exactly the position that they're in, exactly the circumstance that people are in is exactly what you're able to, again, assist. It's kind of the whole reason you exist, right? And so if you're being afforded that externally, especially in terms of what I see as like really good news, right? It takes a lot to become a King of Pentacles. It's like a whole kingdom that needs to be underneath you to prop you up to this. So like it's about having value so big that there's this whole network that's connected to you. And so all of that really coming in at this time, all of that really being the basis, and that's just the first card out, but like that's such a, if I could set up like the great news that you should anticipate, like fear not about the circumstances of how weathered people may have been from the storm, or how weathered you might be from the storm. Like when you really rise above that and look at what the positioning is, this is a King of Pentacles that has the right to make sure that like, well, we keep certain institutions like that open so that, because this King of Pentacles was once in this position. Like the reason that this King of Pentacles is so abundant and is so, judicious in the way that they offer, and so intentional about the institutions that they want to keep alive in their kingdom, like the things that really matter, because this has to do with like well-being and changing the financial state so that there's no longer stagnancy, that there is flow. The reason that you have done that and have been embodying this King of Pentacles, and then therefore are now going to receive that energy externally to you, because you did that for other people. Like I said with this channel, with my husband's business, like what we've done is get out in front of, like, we know in our kingdom what things we really need to stay alive, and so we always keep those open. And so, this past weekend, one of the things that I feel like we've really experienced was, it can be jarring because, again, we're rapidly ascending, and we're living at our highest timeline regardless of whether we're consciously aware of it or not. So meeting up with energies and destined and fated partnerships and things like that, and this kind of condition of the intensity of it was very real and prominent, but it actually just alludes to the fact that, again, you are a King of Pentacles because you are so abundant, because of who you actually are, and who you are is the extension of like what you're going to value and what you're going to put in your kingdom. So you have these services that actually could properly help people with the current sort of locked out of the abundance feeling that they feel, or this is really representative of like a disconnect from spirit. 11:11, I just saw. So huge download, huge energy. So then comes this 5 of Cups, 2 of Cups, or 5 of Cups, and I'm just breaking down the card. Then comes this energy, which is so crazy. So, and I'm saying, and I'm reading this now, and I'm giving this message now because I guess it's super important. But in terms of, like I said, rising above, and just for the wisdom of the message without getting too into announcing things that are yet to come in terms of your view perception, for this message, it's like you first go through this experience where 5 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, like you, like, again, you were locked out. This is purely God having this available for you, and something that God ordained was already prepared for a situation you were going to be in, that puts you at the King of Pentacles. So then boom, you come out busting gorgeous. Like you take that 5 of Pentacles opportunity, you come out busting gorgeous. Directly after that experience comes the 5 of Cups, which is incredible, right? It's that same 5 energy, right? Because the 4 of Cups is about, I think it's the type of introduction that has to do with, when we get to a place of emotional celebration and everyone is contributing, right? Like once you hit the 3 of Cups, which is like, it's important for me to be around other abundant energy, right? I think there is a need for that, especially if you're coming from, like I said, 2 of Cups and you're working a lot with like mixing. The 3 of Cups is like when all 3 of our cups are full and we knew how to fill them on our own, right? So there's a very big independence, but like shared in the 3 of Cups situation and energy. The 4 of Cups is then when you get to the place of like, okay, now I'm abundant, but now, I do, not that you're in that space of thinking about it, but the 4 of Cups is like God comes in to bring in more, because there's even more than that. There's working on yourself, tempering your internal waters. There's coming into unity. There's having your own individual cup and knowing how to refill it. But once you do that, that makes you sort of like this bachelor. It is kind of about like, how do we go on this journey of bringing our cups together? And so the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Cups really expand into that. Like 4 of Cups is about like, okay, get emotionally stable, because once you realize, okay, all 3 of us as the 3 of Cups have our own cups, that's great. We can come together in celebration of the alignment that we all had our same cups filled up at the same time. Then comes this fourth cup from God, from a higher perspective, from a bigger perspective, which I think in that turn it's kind of like, now they're saying to me, like when you're watching like a Love Island game show, like how they always throw in a random person, like new member of the house coming in tonight, and you guys, it's gonna like send somebody home, like everybody just as they were locking in and coupling up. It's like that kind of energy. So this 5 of Cups comes directly after that, because it's like, oh shit, like seeing the King of Pentacles, like it's the kind of energy where it's like, I was so sure that I was locked into this thing until a new thing got introduced, and the new thing is actually more aligned to me. And so this is a big emotional nod. This is a big nod, because again, it's saying that a star, like the thing for you just came in. And so I feel like externally, and this is very true for the people that I was around, I think, like again, after you see this, it makes you this is a big deal. There's nothing really small about this, because when you see the star in the flesh, like someone who is completely in their authenticity, like so much to the fact that they are literally flowing and pouring and releasing all their waters. Like there's nothing, and it's so funny because this Sag full moon, I peed on myself like probably like 10 times this week, like over the course of this moon transit, because that was what was happening. Like I'd be out somewhere and I literally, like the water I was taking in just would break. Like I couldn't keep a single thing back. Like spirit was just like, release your inhibitions. Like that is how my aura was attracting. And then it really made this very notable like Five of Cups experience for other people, which was like, oh shit, like we were really locked in at the Four of Cups thinking that this is the best that it was. And again, I talk about this a lot, right? A lot of people, it's hard for them to admit that there isn't, like for me, when I talk about interpersonal relationships, I really need to feel like they're ordained by my higher power. Like that's the most important thing to me right now in terms of like external relationships. Like I don't like a non-specific relationship. Like if it feels like we just bumped into each other, it's whatever. Like it's not. It doesn't really resonate for me. So I think after this experience, this is very proven. King of Pentacles. This is very like, this is in your face. This is proven. This is very much a Sag full moon. What it aligned for me and my husband. Like it was this energy of like, yeah, this is very. It's King of Pentacles, right? And it's crazy because it's coming through this energy of Five of Pentacles, right? Which is something that we embodied within, but also something that was externally rewarded, where it's like, listen, if you let us in, trust. You get what I'm saying? And so the Five of Cups is now the aftermath where people are like scratching their head like, dang, the thing that I was really living in, the thing I was really repping, the thing I was really committed to, the thing I was really standing behind was probably more out of circumstance than it was me saying this is the most aligned, most true, most connected thing to me. That is a big nod. Now, the beautiful saving grace of that is that it's the star energy, that it's like, well, because we acknowledge that can be difficult. We acknowledge how hard that can be in terms of what, like, I mean, this is the three spilled cups. I mean, for some of you, like, what we're saying is that you've been in third-party energies this whole time. Like, your whole universe is made up of these, like, loose things. Because, again, the Three of Cups is, there's alignment there, but it doesn't mean necessarily connectivity. So the Three of Cups is the party you can throw with other successful people, but your all success can be completely different. And then the problem with the Three of Cups is, like, it's not the Two of Cups. It's a third-party situation. If it was the Two of Cups, that would mean that they're mixing their waters with you, 17-17. But when it's the Three of Cups, it means that we can come together and shoot the shit. But these are the friends. These are like the fair weather friends. These are like, and I don't even mean to say fair weather friends, but these are like, you know, especially my early 20s were very, very categorized by this energy within me where it was like, you know, I'm saying my brother this, my sister that, like keeping people as family. But then like the reality is of the depth of like who's actually tethered to like my experience and who's actually gonna like be there when like shit is going on for me, it's not really true. So that this is a huge emotional transition, right? Where it's like something that I don't believe was seen, something that I think was hidden in terms of your King of Pentacles status is like is in the face, right? Through a very Uranian Five of Pentacles energy, and it completely emotionally like makes people show like it's an emotional confrontation. Like the beautiful thing that I'm standing in right now is like I'm not getting too into duality because it's Gemini season, so float above that. But outside of like not getting into duality, like right now specifically for me, I'm seeing this. Like everyone that's closest to me that I love is like picking Team Alexis. Like it's in a very unsaid, very unspoken like way, but it's like, oh shit, like they've seen enough of the duality. They've seen both sides now to where it's like we really do just know what the Two of Cups is. Like we do at this point, everyone globally should know like what is more aligned to them, because the truth right now is in the star energy. Like right now, the universal truth is like the strongest, most powerful, most attractive, most forceful thing it's ever been. It's in the stars. So again, if you're talking like at this time, if you're someone who's living in denial, living in these vibrations of inauthenticity, living in these vibrations of complacency, this time the truth is so attractive that like it's gonna make you have that emotional confrontation, right? The emotional confrontation, right? Okay, so Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups. This is like the water. This is the water. This is the water. Because right now, I think the next most important thing is that this Queen of Cups, who again the lid that she's had, this is like This Queen of Cups I'm hearing has been seated, has been self-aware, has known her role, has known the work that she's had to do in terms of emotional giving in a consistent manner that actually builds up a, like I said, a sense of character. This Ace of Cups that comes into you because you have been so consistent, so diligent, so aware, so like the Queen of Cups. What I love about her is she's like, I'm a Queen of Cups. Like, it's the intuitive emotional realms. It's the waters. It's Neptune. It's not, you know what I'm saying? There's no denial on that. And I feel like, again, when we're talking about the Two of Wands, she picked a path, she aligned to her path, and this is the inevitable that comes because you sat down, you said, I'm a Queen of Cups and I'm expecting an Ace of Cups, and you just stuck to it no matter what was showing up, no matter what, no matter who believed, no matter whether you always felt like you were worth it. You knew that there was such a specificity to your journey that it's like it can't be anything other than this experience for you. Like, it can't be anything other than just like the abundance and overflow and the pouring out that you've anticipated. And I believe that that is here now for you. Exactly. And we'll end on this sort of Ten of Cups. I mean, this cup coming in is crazy. And it's so funny the timing of ending this message because here comes my cup. Come in, come in, come in. This is me ending the message, but I just wanted to give you guys a shoot.
Y'all see.
So anyways, quick, short, sweet, and easy, but I'm just so happy. I'm going to enjoy my 10th cup now. Au revoir. Till next time. Congratulations.